another round of applause for Marine Band San Diego. For its first 136 years, the Marine Corps had no formalized plan for training recruits. Major General William Biddle sought to change this, and in 1911, he established the Corps' first formal training schools, one in Parris Island, South Carolina, and one in Mare Island, California. By 1923, West Coast recruit training was moved here, where it has remained ever since. Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego is the Corps' oldest West Coast installation. Originally constructed in 1919 to serve as an expeditionary base, it was constructed atop a tidal marshland called Dutch Flats, overlooking the San Diego Bay. The base was built with the intention of being the most beautiful and picturesque post in the United States. The buildings you see in front of you were inspired by Spanish colonial revival architecture and are known as the Arcade. The Arcade was designed by world-famous architect Bertrand Goodhue, who is also credited with creating San Diego's Balboa Park and the United States Naval Academy. Over 25 buildings here are the original structures from over 100 years ago, and they are proudly included on the National Register of Historic Places. For over a century, the depot has served as the recruit training center for the western United States, covering over 3 million square miles of the population. The Western Recruiting Region taxed over 3,000 recruiting staff across more than 700 recruiting stations with the mission of finding America's finest young men and women and offering them the challenge of becoming a United States Marine. Through 13 weeks of rigorous training, the drill instructors, officers, and staff of the depot have worked tirelessly to train your new Marine. While some individual techniques and methods may have evolved over the years, you can rest assured that they received the toughest, most physically and mentally demanding recruit training offered anywhere in the world. More than 1 million Marines have been trained here and have marched across this parade deck, just as your Marines will today. Like those before them, the Marines of India Company accept their responsibilities to safeguard the traditions of the Marine Corps as they step forward to join our rich heritage. Ahead of them lie bright futures that will no doubt add to the proud Marine legacy that they now rightfully claim as their own. If you turn your attention to the center reviewing stand, you will see Lance Bruno. Lance Bruno is a 2-year-old full-blooded English Bulldog born in Fallbrook, California on October 22, 2022. He is named after Major General Bruno Hochmuth, who was the first general officer killed in action during the Vietnam War. Major General Hochmuth was also the commanding general of the depot from November of 1963 to February of 1967. Lance Bruno continues the tradition of a long line of Marine Corps Bulldog mascots dating back to 1921, when Brigadier General Smedley Butler appointed Sergeant Major Jiggs as the first Bulldog mascot for Marine Corps Barracks Quantico. Lance Bruno is being escorted by the Office of Communications Strategy and Operations, Lance Corporal Angie Palomino.
Stop! Fallen!
Spiritual development plays an important part in the making of the United States Marine. Lieutenant Kai Cher, Chaplain Corps, United States Navy, will deliver the graduation prayer. Will the guests please rise? gracious God, we come together today with hearts full of gratitude and pride as we celebrate the remarkable achievements of Company I. These Marines have answered the call to serve, to stand ready in defense of this great nation, and to uphold the highest tradition of the Corps. Today we hold them in our hearts and look to them as the future leaders of the Corps. May your spirit guide their steps with discipline, bind their hearts together in purpose, and inspire them to live by the values that define us. And may this world indeed be a better place because the Marines live in it. Strong in spirit, and always with you, for our country, for our world. In your holy name we pray.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Take your post. Aye, sir.
The Commanding General of Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego welcomes you to what is a historic event in the life of all Marines, their graduation from recruit training. Approximately 40 weeks each year for the past 100 years, new Marines have departed San Diego for service with units of the Marine Corps around the globe. The primary mission of the Recruit Depot is to provide basic training to recruits enlisted west of the Mississippi River, which represents approximately 51% of all applicants in the Marine Corps each year. The depot is also home to Recruiter School and Drill Instructor School. All of our efforts here are geared toward one end, producing America's finest fighting force, the United States Marine Corps. This morning, India Company, 3rd Recruit Training Battalion, will form and march in the parade. Following the passing review, the graduating Marines will return front and center of the reviewing stand for final dismissal. The staff for today's parade is comprised of Marines from the Recruit Training Regiment. The commander of troops is First Sergeant Manuel Garcia, and the parade adjutant is Staff Sergeant Kevin A. Winstead. The marching units are now being called to attention, and the adjutant's command, sound adjutant's call, will begin today's parade. Marching in today's parade are 553 of the graduating Marines from India Company. Among the 553 Marines are 2 Marines who displayed outstanding performances in 2 individually graded events. Private First Class Joseph D. Barlow from Platoon 3213 is the company high shooter, scoring a 246 out of 250. Private First Class Dimitri Lesser from Platoon 3203 is the most physically fit Marine, scoring a 300 out of 300 on the physical fitness test and a 300 out of 300 on the combat fitness test. They will be receiving awards from the Marine Corps Association and Foundation. Present today is the company undergraduate's recruiter, Staff Sergeant Dana Shepard. Also present today is the primary marksmanship instructor with the highest platoon shooting average, Corporal Zachary R. Nielsen, whose platoon qualified with a shooting average of 304 out of 350. Recruit training is comprised of subjects which produce basic Marines that function effectively in garrison, are trained in rudimentary individual field and combat skills, and practice the personal and professional traits which distinguish them as Marines. Examples of these traits are discipline, which is the achievement of self-control and self-awareness, which assures respect for authority, instant and willing obedience to orders, and the self-reliance to maintain or improve those traits which exemplify a Marine. Military bearing, meaning to consistently demonstrate military presence and personal awareness, as well as properly wear and maintain one's uniforms. And esprit de corps, which is acquiring the common spirit of the Marine Corps that inspires enthusiasm, pride, teamwork, aggressiveness, camaraderie, and the burning desire to work with and for others toward excellence in common goals. For 250 years, Marines have fought and won whenever and wherever the nation calls. In the harshest conditions, over the most brutal terrain, and against the most formidable enemies, Marines defend the ideals of freedom with grit and tenacity. Marines today remain in combat, forward deployed throughout the world, confronting every challenge with courage, loyalty, and faithfulness. They are resolved to be the most ready when the nation is the least ready, to defend freedom anytime and anywhere, to stand ready to aid those devastated by natural disasters, to pay tribute to those who forged our proud legacy, and to honor the families and loved ones who faithfully stand beside us. For the Marines of India Company, today marks the end of the intensive 13-week recruit training cycle. Thanks to their physical training program, their strength and endurance have doubled since their arrival on the recruit depot. They have marched countless miles at Camp Pendleton, as well as on this very parade day. Like all Marines, they have been trained as basic riflemen. With their transformation complete, they are Marines, qualified to take their places in the ranks of the world's finest fighting organization. The platoons are now being aligned from left to right in order to get them into their exact positions for the parade. The next portion of the ceremony will be our national anthem. we welcome veterans and members of the armed forces to join us in rendering appropriate honors with a military salute. For guests who have not served in the military, it is proper etiquette during the national anthem to place their right hands over their hearts, and for those in the audience wearing headgear, to remove it. Will the guests please rise for the presentation of the colors? Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. At the command, post the colors. The color guard moves into position within the parade. This signifies that the entirety of the parade has been formed and is ready to be presented to the command. Following the command, parade rest, the parade adjutant will give the command sound off, which signals the band to parade forward of the assembled Marines while playing military marching music. The parade adjutant now presents the assembled command to the commander of troops.
Sir, right forward. Aye, sir. Series! Get down 21! To all present! Series! Get down 25! All present!
At the command, officers center march. All unit commanders and guidon bearers march to the front and center of the formation. Historically, it was at this point that commanding officers would issue orders and instructions to the unit commanders. Following this, the unit leaders would face about, return to their units, and pass the information along to their Marines. Throughout our nation's history, millions of men and women have earned the title United States Marine. Many who have helped shape our history join us here today. In keeping with the tradition of once a Marine, always a Marine, we would like to recognize them. At this time, those in the audience who have served as Marines, please rise. A round of applause for their dedicated service to foreign country. Thank you. Please be seated. And now, please welcome the Battalion Commander for 3rd Recruit Training Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Stephen J. Greenberg.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, distinguished guests. On behalf of the Commanding General of Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego and the Western Recruiting Region, Brigadier General David Hyman, and the Commanding Officer of the Recruit Training Regiment, Colonel Tracy Maese, I'd like to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for Company I. It's also my distinct pleasure to introduce to you today our parade reviewing official, Sergeant Major Sherry Cook, whose impressive biography you'll hear momentarily. Sergeant Major, it's an honor to have you with us here today. Before I go ahead and I talk about these incredible young Marines standing in formation behind me, what I'd first like to do is acknowledge a few groups of people who ensured their success. The first are those individuals you see wearing the distinctive green campaign colors, our legendary Marine Corps drill instructors. Ever since these Marines arrived here, there has been a drill instructor with them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, everywhere that they go. And the drill instructors at Company I have been the critical element transformation from a civilian into a Marine. The impact that they've had on each one of these Marines, both professionally and personally, will be as everlasting as the title that they've earned since being here. And supporting those drill instructors and the officers of Company I have been their families. No one, absolutely no one knows better than the families the time, energy, and sacrifice it takes to make a Marine. And while the officers and the drill instructors have remained focused on the mission, their families have had to pick up additional roles and responsibilities at home. So please, join me in a round of applause for the officers, the drill instructors, and the families of Company I. Now, every Marine's journey begins at a recruiting station. Representing Marine Corps Recruiting Command today is Staff Sergeant Dana Shepard from Recruiting Substation, Pasadena, California. Staff Sergeant Shepard was a recruiter for our Company Honor graduate, Lance Corporal Richard Riddle. It was Staff Sergeant Shepard who first identified Lance Corporal Riddle's potential and offered him the opportunity to earn the title United States Marine. But Staff Sergeant Shepard represents just one of dozens of the Marine Corps recruiters that it took to identify all the potential that you've seen come to fruition behind me. Staff Sergeant, thanks for being here with us today, and thanks to you and your fellow recruiters for continuing to fill our Corps' ranks with America's best and brightest. And last, while the majority of recruit training takes place here, right here on the depot, there's a few critical weeks that occur up in the hills of Camp Pendleton, where these Marines were taught combat skills, fieldcraft, and basic marksmanship, ensuring that this generation of Marines can continue to live up to the motto, every Marine a rifleman. Representing Weapons and Field Training Battalion today is Corporal Zachary Nielsen. Corporal Nielsen was the primary marksmanship instructor for our platoon with the highest average score on the rifle range, platoon 3,203. Corporal, thanks for being here with us today, and thanks to you and your fellow instructors for all you taught these Marines and for turning them into warfighters. Now, when these men and women arrived here, they were young, fit, and intelligent. But above all else, they were courageous. And they demonstrated that courage the moment that they chose to raise their right hand and swore a solemn oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. 3 months ago, when they got off those buses and they saw our historic yellow footprints, they embarked on a journey through the world's most demanding entry-level training. And since they've been here, they've been trained and evaluated in everything that makes a Marine unique. They've demonstrated proficiency in combat-tested warfighting skills. They've proven that they have both mental and physical toughness. They've demonstrated their exemplary character, and they've proven that as a small unit leader, they have a bias for action, and that they can decide, communicate, and act within a team. And while all of that is wildly impressive, and it truly is, what I'm actually most impressed by and proud of is their commitment. The commitment that they demonstrated every single day to both Corps and country. When they woke up and they chose, made a conscious personal decision that they were going to overcome the challenges that they faced while they were here. And for that, I'm truly honored and humbled to stand here on this parade deck with them today as a fellow Marine. So without further ado, let me present to you the 553 newest young men and women that can now and forever claim the title of United States Marine. Now, excuse me while I address the company one last time. Good morning, Marines. That's pure pride right there. Now, when you go home, people are going to notice some different things about you. Potentially some unique Marine Corps quirks they're expecting to see. You may say, yes, sir, no, ma'am. You may eat your chow really fast. And you may even make your bed for the first time in your entire life. That may be wishful thinking, don't guarantee it. But that's not actually what they're looking for. What they're actually looking for is for you to set an example. Remember, the strength of the Marine Corps always has been and always will be the individual Marine. Not necessarily the individual per se, but it's the fact that all Marines, the fact that our identity and our intrinsic motivations are grounded in our core values and our warfighting spirit. When you completed the Crucible and you were handed your Eagle Globe and Anchor, you became a part of our legacy. You now represent every Marine that's come before you in the entire history of the Corps. And going forward, our legacy is yours to safeguard. So be proud of what you've earned. Be proud of what you've accomplished. Be proud of what you now represent. But above all else, every single day, everything that you do, through your actions and your words, continue to prove that you remain worthy of the title. On behalf of the officers, the drill instructors, and the support staff here at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, let me be the first to wish you fair winds and following seas. Congratulations, Marines. Semper Fidelis, and welcome to our Corps.
Now taking their position in the reviewing area is today's parade reviewing official, the Command Senior Enlisted Leader of Marine Corps Installations West, Sergeant Major Sherry N. Cook. She is accompanied by the Sergeant Major of Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego and the Western Recruiting Region, Sergeant Major Orangel A. Levy.
Order, sword. Order! Ho! See!
Sergeant Major Sherry N. Cook began her Marine Corps career as a motor transport operator. Throughout her career, her exceptional leadership capabilities enabled her to hold multiple key leadership roles within and beyond her community, including Motor Transport Operations Chief in Okinawa, Japan, drill instructor at Parris Island, South Carolina, Camp Commandant and Motor Transport Operations Chief while deployed to Al-Assad, Iraq, Assistant Marine Officer Instructor for the NROTC program at the Hampton Roads College Consortium, Company First Sergeant at Parris Island, South Carolina, Battalion Sergeant Major at the prestigious 4th Recruit Training Battalion in Parris Island, South Carolina, Battalion Sergeant Major for 2nd Supply Battalion, Squadron Sergeant Major for Marine Heavy Helicopter Squadron 366, Regimental Sergeant Major for Combat Logistics Regiment 45, and Senior Enlisted Leader for Training Command. Sergeant Major Cook currently serves as the Command Senior Enlisted Leader of Marine Corps Installations West. Dedicated to lifelong learning, Sergeant Major Cook has attended the Army Sergeants Major Academy, and she also holds a Bachelor of Science in Administrative Management and an Associate in Arts in Sociology. Sergeant Major Cook's personal awards include the Legion of Merit, the Meritorious Service Medal with 3 gold stars, the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal with 1 gold star, and the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal with 3 gold stars. Sergeant Major Cook is joined today by her husband, Jamal Cook, who also proudly served and retired as a Sergeant Major in the Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sergeant Major Cook.
Sergeant Major, the parade is full.
Master Command in review.
Aye, aye, Sergeant Major. Staff, care, sword, kill him. Ready, cut. Cut! Stand! Review! Aye! Aye!
The pass and review is a tradition within all military units, allowing the unit commander to formally inspect the Marines under their charge. Over the entire history of the depot, Marines that have crossed this parade deck have deployed into conflicts around the world, where we have earned our trust and dependability. Places such as Guadalcanal, where Marines worked with United States soldiers to win the first offensive victory during World War II. Iwo Jima, where uncommon valor was a common virtue, and Marines raised the national flag on top of Mount Suribachi. Incheon, where Marines assaulted 3 beaches simultaneously and outflanked North Korean forces. Hue City, where Marines defeated North Vietnamese forces during the Tet Offensive. Grenada, where military members were part of Operation Urgent Fury to help stabilize the local government. Kuwait, where Marines were part of Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm and fought to liberate the country from Iraqi forces. Fallujah, where Marines surrounded the city within 24 hours to commence Operation Vigilant Resolve and take the city back from Al-Qaeda forces. Marja, where Marines worked with Afghan, British, Canadian, Danish, and Estonian forces to remove Taliban forces from the last stronghold in Helmand Province. Even now, Marines are stationed worldwide to answer the call when they are needed. This parade deck has had many legendary Marines march across it, and they have never forgotten the feeling of earning their place among our ranks. To honor our nation's colors, as the American flag passes directly in front of you, please rise. Once it passes, you may be seated. Battalion staff. Platoon 3201, Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Montel E. Sales. Platoon 3202, Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Roberto De Partida. Platoon 3203, Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Rafael Garcia. The Regimental Color Guard is led on the march by the Regimental Color Sergeant, Drill Instructor, Sergeant Justin M. Hamlet. Series 3205, Series 2 Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Simon Williams, and Platoon 3205, Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Emily A. Morales. your graduation pamphlets, you will find the Marine Sim. The Marine Sim has a history dating back to 1859 and has a long-standing tradition for Marines to face the direction of the music and stand at attention when it is heard. It is now directed at all Marines present and who have served honorably. And ladies and gentlemen, you are all encouraged to join. Sing the words to the first verse as Marine Band San Diego performs Anchors Away, followed by the Marine Sim. Will the guests please rise? Thank you. Please be seated.
Sergeant Major, let's conclude tonight's ceremony. Aye, Sergeant Major.
The Marine Corps' uniqueness and strength as an elite fighting force is directly attributable to the magnificent efforts of the drill instructors and company officers who train and supervise the recruits. The distinct qualities of spirit and discipline, the heart and soul of every Marine, have been developed, nurtured, and ingrained in recruits through their observance and relationship with their drill instructors and officers. Recruit training is the very foundation of the Corps. Each year, recruit training provides thousands of America's finest young men and women with the basic knowledge and skills to function in a profession characterized by its own set of high values and top standards. The most important thing we do in the Marine Corps is make Marines. The individual Marine is the Corps. That is what we do here. For the Marines graduating today, the long, arduous journey of the last 13 weeks is but a small step into the future of the Marine Corps. As they prepare to fill the ranks of our Corps, they do so with unquestionable support for the high ideals and standards of the United States of America and the United States Marine Corps. Although the new company prepares for their final dismissal from recruit training, the dismissal training is not over. Soon after graduation, they will report to the School of Infantry, Pendleton, California, where they will continue to be trained to serve as an effective member of a Marine Rifle Squad. The intense initial training that every Marine undergoes is designed to instill the fundamental premise that every Marine is first and foremost a rifleman. like to introduce you to the Marines responsible for ensuring the success of the difficult transition required to become a Marine. The company commander is Captain Matthew P. Spencer. The company first sergeant is First Sergeant Manuel Garcia. Please join me in a round of applause for the company staff of India Company. The next portion of the ceremony will be the traditional function of retiring the guidons.
Guide! Center! Hard!
The guidons have been carried by platoons throughout recruit training and are being retired to symbolize the disbanding of platoons. All similar units of the Marine Corps carry such guidons, which identify the unit and are a source of pride to each individual member. Note that the honor of carrying these guidons is bestowed upon those Marines who displayed outstanding leadership qualities, motivation, and character, and they were selected as the Platoon Honor Graduates. The Platoon Honor Graduates compete for the titles of Series and Company Honor Graduates. They are considered the top Marines graduating today and have demonstrated the highest potential for future leadership and responsibility in the Marine Corps.
Present! Guide 'em! Order! Guide 'em!
The guidons will now be returned to the drill instructors.
Forward!
The honor graduates will now be presented a plaque by the battalion commander, Lieutenant Colonel Stephen J. Greenberg, and the battalion Sergeant Major, Vitaly I. Holodo.
Present! Arms! Order! Arms!
Please hold your applause until all honor graduates have been recognized. The honor graduate for platoon 3201 and the company honor graduate is Lance Corporal Richard D. Riddle Jr. from Pasadena, California. Lance Corporal Riddle is also the recipient of the Chesty Puller Award for outstanding meritorious performance while in recruit training. The honor graduate for platoon 3202 is Private First Class Jack R. Rolke from Columbus, Wisconsin. The honor graduate from platoon 3203 is Private First Class Devontae M. Spears from Westby, Wisconsin. The honor graduate from platoon 3205 is Lance Corporal Penelope B. Bocanegra. The honor graduate for platoon 3207 is Private First Class Andre R. Garcia from Laverne, California. Congratulations to the honor graduates of India Company.
Company First Sergeant.
Company First Sergeant, 4040.
Dismiss the company.
Aye, aye, sir.
The company first sergeants will now give the command to the senior drill instructors to dismiss their platoons. Needless to say, this will be the most welcome command they have received throughout recruit training.
Senior drill instructor! Dismiss your platoon!
across the curriculum or in front of your viewing area, utilize the far ends. Please pick up any trash and personal belongings and use the waste receptacles provided. Once you have found your new Marine, please begin making your way towards your vehicles using the walkway behind the bleachers. Your Marine has been briefed on escorting you. Please keep in mind the level of training your Marine has received and afford the same opportunity to those still in training by avoiding